Yeah, I am. Yeah, I thought two parts of our game that I thought. I thought last week our ball use was pretty average going inside 50, and tonight it was terrible. We didn't give forwards a chance, or we took the wrong option, which really invited their extras to get involved and really cut the ball off. So that was disappointing. But the part that I was most disappointed about was how we conceded so much score from, I think the first quarter was 15 to 11 inside 50s, and they outscored us. They had 8 shots at goal from those 11 inside 50s, and the second quarter was fairly similar. I think it was about 73% of every time they went in percentage-wise they scored, and the second quarter was about 70. So that was a real alarming for us, especially when we had extra numbers there and just the ease that they scored. So it was through our turnovers or our ability or inability to defend.
How much was it about the pace they had up forward?
We had extra numbers, and sometimes we had the ball and we coughed it up, or we dropped a mark. We had littles flying into packs of 4v4 and leaving their bloke. It was just a bit of an alarm bells for us about we've still got a fair bit of work to do in that area of the game. And tonight, at the end of the day, we've gone inside 50, but our efficiency in comparison to what they could do was chalk and cheese.
The scoreboard with the 9 goals that their small forwards got, it suggests that they kind of caught you out with almost maybe the wrong team. Were you sort of sitting there watching that thinking, because you didn't seem to have the right matchups, didn't seem to have the guys to stop?
Well, Joseph played on Ballantyne and did a pretty good job a few weeks ago. I think Rossi Lyon gave him 4 votes or 3 votes in the Coaches Award. So we thought Joseph would get that job done on Milne, and Milne sort of got away. And then Tui and a few others that went through on the Malera and Saad matchups, they scored on them at times. So, there was a couple there that we thought that they would have got the job done, and we didn't get it done.
It looked to be a bit of a similarity. They came with seemed to be a very deliberate plan of closing down around the contest and saturating it and trying to win that inside game to stop you getting away.
Yep.
And fairly unsociable as well. That's really in your face. It seemed to be very similar to the way Essendon approached you as well. Is there a suspicion, do you think, that you're soft for that?
Well, we knew the way they were going to play. We've watched them over the last few weeks. In watching them, they get a lot of numbers up and they try and create space out the back. And we knew that was going to come. And we had an extra player back there at times. And still, our ability to win that contest, you would think we would, and we didn't. And that was quite alarming at times when you think, well, we didn't win the clearance, and then they got us, out the back, or in the numbering situation, we sort of had the numerical advantage, and then we actually lost that contest, which is a worry.
The stoppage is a problem too, because it seemed like Cruz and Hampson not getting a hand on the ball. I mean, you dominate the hit-outs, but the stoppages were there. I'm sure what it finished up, but they were ahead.
Yeah, 41-37. So, when you've probably got Hayes in there that, elite at that level, his influence around those contests was very good. Yeah, but I think the hit-outs were 60-25, so we got first use. I suppose sometimes when you play in there as a midfielder, sometimes when you've got a dominant ruckman, it allows the opposition just to try and shark, so it makes it easier. Or, if you've got a losing ruckman, you can do you can get on the front foot or watch what the other ruckmen are doing. It's when the ruck hits are about 50-50 that it can be a bit of a landslide, because then it can take the natural ability to try and read that or get involved. But I thought they did a really good job at sharking, or when we did win first possession, of stripping us of the ball. And I think first possession we were in front, but at the end of the day they've won the clearances. So even when we've won the first possession, they've stripped us off, stripped the ball off us before we've had a possession. So full credit to them. They hunted us today, and they really got after us. And we kept chipping away, but every time we seemed to get any momentum, we made an error, and it was usually a big error.
Those errors you were talking about in defence, did you feel like that was just sort of a one-off, a bit of lack of concentration, sticking to instructions sometimes not, or is it more of something you see go long term?
I thought the Essendon game was more of a positional thing. It wasn't so much in regards to... I thought we just got our positioning really, really wrong on that day, and we tried to address it and we didn't get it right. It took a bit more work back off us to try and fix that. Tonight was just our ability to win those, I suppose, drop of the ball scenarios. I think inside 50 marks was 16-9 our way, and they've come up and kicked, 18, 19 goals for the day.
Do you feel that you've lost a bit of momentum? You know, even with last week where you had some players out, you were a little bit flat. You know, you ended up with a decent win, I guess, but you know, you weren't great, I guess. You know, do you feel you've lost a bit of momentum at the moment?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't think we're as sharp as what we have been early in the first 3 weeks. So I think, you know, if you take a snapshot of the first 3 or 4 weeks, I thought we were up, and, you know, not the Essendon game, but, you know, outside that, the Collingwood, Brisbane, Richmond were really up and about. Now, intensity and, you know, how fanatical we were to put heat on the opposition was very good. I think that's dropped away over the last 3 weeks, and I spoke to the boys post-game in regards to getting that back, and that's something that we do have a big challenge to make sure that we do, because I think we've seen a snapshot towards the back end of the third quarter. You know, the game started to chug along, and you know, we were coming back into the game, and we really started to hunt the ball up and the man, and we caused a few turnovers. But outside that, we played at a sort of a one-pace team, you could say, where, you know, one of our advantages is our speed, and we need to use our speed not just offensively but defensively as well.
Having said that, do you think that the loss could actually do you some good in terms of just a little bit of a stir up for some of the guys?
I'll tell you next week. I think some of the players would have got a wake-up call tonight in regards to, I suppose, their position in the team, and that'll be looked at.
Anything else? Nothing from Matthew, who's made his way down here? Or? No?
Just that last point, Matty, do you think that in the end it might do you some good to have your butt kicked like that tonight?
I think so. Obviously, you hate losing, so you want to come out next week and get those 4 points back and get back on the board. So, we'll look forward to next week's challenge.
I think the players were getting a bit ahead of themselves, as Brett said. You were much sharper early in the year, and you just sort of dulled off a bit in the last few weeks. That maybe there was an expectation that it would just happen in the game like tonight.
I don't think so, no. Obviously, it's a tough competition. You just need to turn up each week ready to go, and I mean, you've that little bit off, a couple of % off, it's going to show, and showed with us tonight. So, we just got to get back on the ball and get into next week.
Cruz, you pulled out last week and came back in. Just what happened there and how is you there?
Yeah, it's good. Just tweaked it a little bit, but it's fine. A couple of days off. The longer turnarounds were good, so good.
Yeah, Mick, I don't think the players are ahead of themselves, and I don't think we're getting ahead of ourselves. I think it just shows, and we're really aware of the competition and how even it is. I think you see on the weekends that there's been some very tight games, and whether you're the favourite going in or not, it's a very even competition, and we're not getting ahead of ourselves one bit. Everyone was fine. Yep, Joseph got subbed off. He didn't have. Yaron will definitely be back next week. He was.
Just give him the extra week.
He didn't do as much training as we would have liked, so he needed to get up and do a full week, and he would have only done sort of one session. That wasn't good enough to play after missing a couple of weeks, so he's sort of more advanced for this game coming up, but he wasn't quite there to play. Yep.